morning, everybody. You guys all ready to go? This is such a cool venue. Is this so exciting to be here? It's really neat. I couldn't be more excited to be here with you all this morning. On behalf of AT&T and on behalf of the phenomenal AT&T women who are in the room with us today, we are so proud to be the presenting sponsor of the 2015 Judson Women's Leadership Conference. We're incredibly proud to support the JCI Foundation mission to help young women achieve greatness through education and mentorship, because that's a mission that is incredibly important to AT&T as well. It's a mission that we've adopted as our own. As I was thinking, as I was driving here this morning, I couldn't help but reflect back on the time in my life when I was in the same seats that you all are in today. The time in my life when I was starting out my career, very early in my career, right here in Atlanta, Georgia. And I had the opportunity to attend events like this. And when I'd come to events like this, I'd sit in the audience and I'd look at the women speakers. I'd watch them with tremendous awe and respect. And I'd think, these are the women who have really made it. CEOs, entrepreneurs, senior executives in corporate America. And I'd look at them with such respect and awe, and they became my role models. They became the vision of success for me. It was the success that I wanted for myself. And as I listened to them throughout the day, I believed that absolutely anything was possible. I was so inspired by their stories and their achievements. And as I left the conference, I always left with my batteries really, really recharged, right? I was so excited, I was so charged up. And as I would drive home from a conference like this, I would dare to imagine that one day I too could rise through the ranks of corporate America just as they had done. I would dare to imagine that one day I could be standing on a stage speaking to a group just like you all. And so make no mistake about the importance of events like this, because it is events like this and organizations like the JCI Foundation that have had an incredibly profound impact on my confidence, my courage, and my career. You know, when I think about careers, I think careers are really funny things. Careers don't tend to happen according to plan. You know, they just don't. Careers don't happen as a straight climb up a corporate ladder. That's just not the way it works. And done well, careers actually come with a tremendous amount of challenge along with the great joy and success. I'm incredibly lucky to have had 32 years so far, not done, 32 years with AT&T. And it's been an incredibly successful career. But I got my start right here 32 years ago as a clerk in a customer service department for a printing company. And that printing company was eventually bought by Bell South, and Bell South was eventually bought by AT&T. I was a college graduate when I took a job as a clerk in my first job in corporate America. I was a college graduate, psychology major, a minor in criminal justice. I had worked my way through college at a restaurant chain, and I was eventually the vice president general manager at this little restaurant chain. But I was ready for corporate America. And so I took a job as a clerk in customer service. And I was so eager and so excited that first day when I showed up on my first job, first step on the, climbing the corporate ladder. And I sat down with my boss the first day, and I'm thinking, how am I going to make a difference? This is great. What do I get to learn? What do I get to do? And he said, we've never actually had a clerk before, so your first job, I guess, is making coffee. And you can imagine my disappointment, slight disappointment, and if I'm honest with all of you, it was really an oh crap moment. What have I done, right? And but you know what? I sat there for a minute, and I said, if my job is making coffee, I am going to make the best coffee that anybody has ever made. Some of you are laughing because you know these stories, you've lived them. But I didn't drink coffee, and I had no idea what apparatus I was even required to make coffee. But I set out, made it my mission to go figure it out, and I did. So I made the best coffee every single morning. But I didn't stop there. When I came in every morning and I was making coffee, I thought, what a great way to get to know people. So I'd sit down every morning with one of the leaders in the business, and I'd say, tell me about your career. Tell me how you got where you are. Tell me what you do. Tell me what keeps you up at night. What are the challenges that you're facing in your part of the business? And you know what? I got to know people, and I began to make connections with people. And they could see that I was eager to do more. And so I earned the right to take on more than just making coffee. They let me start making copies and delivering them throughout the manufacturing operation. But while I was copying reports, literally it's what I did. And as I was copying reports and I was delivering them throughout the manufacturing operation, I read those reports. And I began to get some insights about what was going on in the business. And eventually what I'd do is I'd sit down with one of the leaders in the morning with his coffee, and I'd say, you know, Bob, I noticed that you generate this report every day, and Ruth over here is generating a really similar report. They've got some of the same data on those reports. What if you guys got together? Could you eliminate a report and free up some time to do something else? So people began to see that I was eager to make a difference, that I was connecting dots, and I was having an impact, sharing insights across departments and helping people collaborate across organizations. And so 6 months after I joined the company, I was promoted to a customer service rep, and 6 months after that, I was promoted to a supervisor over that department. By constantly being willing to do whatever I was asked to do, whatever my job was, by consistently delivering and exceeding expectations, and by continuously looking for ways to make a difference beyond just what was in my job description, I earned the right to do more. And so I don't have time today to tell you about my entire career story, but I'll tell you that over the next 32 years, the last 32 years, I've held 19 different roles within AT&T. And if some of you are doing the math, you might think, wow, she can't keep a job. Or you might think, you know, she's had a tremendous number of opportunities throughout her career, and that's the way I choose to look at it. I have had, I could tell you, I could spend hours actually telling you amazing stories of successes and wins and, you know, driving results. I could tell you about amazing mentors and sponsors, without whose help and support I would not be here today. They were critical to my success. I've had the opportunity to work in almost every part of the business, so I've got some amazing experiences. And I have had more than one job that I would call my dream job. And not everybody can say that in their career, so I'm very proud of that. But I do want you to know that although it's been an incredible career, it hasn't been all smooth sailing. I've also experienced a lot of adversity along the way. I was a single mom very early in my career, climbing the corporate ladder in a completely male-dominated business. The printing industry was very male-dominated at that time. First woman to be promoted into management in that business. I survived 2 acquisitions. So twice, the company that I was working for was acquired by another company, and I faced that uncertainty of not knowing if I was going to have a role in the new company. I can tell you I made my share of mistakes, and I could regale you with a lot of funny stories about the mistakes that I made and how I recovered from those. I constantly got out of my comfort zone, and at times I even got in way over my head. I took risks, and I actually experienced some very public failures. Public speaking, the very first time I ever spoke, was a huge public failure, and I learned from that. That also would be another very funny story. But I kept learning, and I kept leaning forward, and I kept getting up. And I grew and learned from every single one of those mistakes, those bumps along the way, and those failures. So my career hasn't been without its share of curveballs. But not only have I faced curveballs professionally, I've endured them in my personal life as well. I am a cancer survivor, 16 years. And I have also lived through and survived the tragedy of losing my only son when he was 25 years old, and that was just 4 short years ago. And so, you know, there is a hole in my heart and in my life that will never be filled. So there are points along the way, clearly I tell you this, because there are points along the way where I could have stopped trying. I could have given up. I could have said, look, odds are just stacked against me. But you know what? Failure isn't falling down. Failure is staying down. And what I've learned is that through any challenge, whether it's obstacles at work or tragedies in your personal life, relying on your faith, your family, and your friends is what gets you through it. It's critical. If you take care of those 3 things, your faith, your family, and your friends, they will be there to take care of you when you need them the most. So I'm telling you all this to say this. Be prepared to weather some bumps in the road on your career journey and in your life, because everyone does. As you go through today, you're going to hear phenomenal women speakers up here all day today. But don't look at the women on this stage, I urge you. Don't look at them as the lucky ones or as people who are just special, because they're not. Rather, these women are simply the women who had the courage, who worked hard, who constantly learned, who pushed on through obstacles and overcame adversity to earn the success that they've achieved today. So don't hit that first speed bump in your career and take that as a sign to lower your expectations or give up your dreams. Never give up your dreams. Keep moving over those speed bumps and take it as a sign that you are on the same road as so many of the women before you. The women who dared to imagine, who fell down and got up, who pushed through adversity, and who came out stronger on the other side. I feel incredibly blessed, actually, to be where I am today, working for a company that I am so incredibly proud of and a job that I truly adore. AT&T has a long-standing reputation of supporting the success and advancement of women. It's really part of our culture, it's our DNA, and it starts at the very top of our corporation. We know, and you guys need to be confident about this, that women are half of the talent in this country and actually around the world. Women are every bit as educated, every bit as talented, every bit as capable of men. And women actually enter the workforce with every bit as much ambition as men. We need to hang on to that ambition. And at AT&T, we work hard to help women hang on to that ambition because we know that having the right talent at the table, both men and women, is critical to our success and growth. Actually, AT&T hired 10,000 women just in the last 12 months. 600 of those were recent college graduates. That's pretty cool, right? Lots of opportunity there. There are over 84,000 women who work at AT&T. There are women who sit at Randall Stevenson's table. Randall is the chairman and the CEO of AT&T. There are women who lead our technology organizations. There are women who lead $1 billion, corporations generating $1 billion in revenue, and managing billions of dollars in operating expense. The organization that I lead is a $1.5 billion business. There are women who are inventors with hundreds of patents. There are women who are creating the technology of the future, the technology that will change human lives. And that is pretty cool. So AT&T is consistently recognized as a great place to work for women. And I know that the AT&T women leaders who are here in the room with us today would agree that AT&T is a company that's truly passionate about supporting the success and advancement of women. And AT&T, even more importantly than that, it's a place where women support each other. So the final thought I'm going to leave you all here with today, thinking back to those days when I was just starting my career, when I was sitting in audiences just like this, the final thought I'll leave you is make great coffee. Like whatever is asked of you, do it better, outperform everybody else, and dare to imagine. Dare to imagine your vision of success and never give up on that vision of success. And go get it. The possibilities are absolutely endless. You can achieve greatness. It's up to you to make it happen. You all have an amazing day ahead of you, so soak it all up, take it all in, and allow yourself to be inspired. Thank you.